Thank you so much for stopping by. In case this is your first time, my name is Tabitha Ogutu. I'm a journalist by profession and also have interest in international relations. And outside of that, I really have passion in mentorship, especially the young people, the young professionals, and just people who are just the young people who are trying to find their space in this and what they're passionate about and what they've been called to do. So today, usually I'm by myself, but I'm joined by my younger sister. And I would like for her to introduce herself. Hi, it's nice to have you here today.
How does it feel hosting one of your mentees on your program? It must be nice.
Oh, I've mentored you.
Success stories. So,
okay.
I'm Tabitha Ogutu. Is my sister, mentor, and I'm happy to just be here and see how this conversation goes, honestly.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, when I was having you here, I actually didn't have me in mind. So, but thank you. That is so kind. Thank you. And maybe we will see why is it that you feel that I've mentored you. I know I've studied journalism. Is that why? And you've also studied journalism. Is that where you got your passion from? Although you're not practicing, but you've studied journalism.
Yeah, I think they say that when you're growing up as a child, the people whom you associate with or you grow up in their hands, they have a very big influence on what you turn out to become. So then I think the junk of my teenage life, I grew up in your hands, went to primary school, staying with you. A lot of things I learned that time and I'm practicing this time as a result of the instruction and guidance. And I'm a better human because you took your time to nurture the person I am.
Aww.
So yes, I'm a product. I'm a success story.
But I don't know how to feel about, but thank you for thank you for being kind and the little contribution I was able to make on you growing up. I'm happy. But you've studied journalism, but that is not what you're doing. Of course, I know the aspects of that in terms of communication is helping you in what you're currently involved in, and you're heavily involved in community-led activities and specifically in agriculture.
Yes.
Girl. Agriculture.
All right. Many people, by the way, ask me that question, even when I go for my media interviews, and they keep telling the listener, especially if it's radio, that the lady we have in the studio, she's very
you can relax, right?
I'm trying to enhance our bit, being interviewed by you is such a privilege.
It's not an interview, it's a conversation you're having, please. It's not that serious.
All right.
Yeah, although what you do with the community is very serious, but you can just chill out.
Oh, let me bring myself together. All right, so they say that agriculture for me came as a result of now when I was in high school in the village. I was very baffled by production, especially maize, because that is what is done in our village and many parts of Sierra. So I didn't understand quite well why we will be planting the whole value chain of maize, and then still after a week or so of harvesting, we have farmers who will go back, who have a lot of harvest, or bumper harvest. And then we have the other group who will be going back. Our nearest market is Rwanda to get maize. I'm like, you've plowed an acre piece of land. You've used your energy. They struggle to get the inputs. What? And these companies, they tell the farmers that you're supposed to get probably maybe per acre, get maybe 45 bags or at least 20 or 15. So for me, it was really disturbing me. Why do they have to go to the market to get maize and they've just harvested the next time?
Yeah.
So when, for me, when I joined now campus, and my campus was just near, not so far from home, and then I had a lot of time. You hearing people say, oh, over the weekends or bounce classes. So I was like, this is the time I think I want to start finding out what will be the reason why, just a mere case study. What would be the reason why farmers don't get the same harvest, and why would you be farming and going to buy maize after harvesting in a week? And so curiosity is what made me get there. And now I didn't know that it was quite an issue and it needed an approach, not just an individual one, but more of a collaborated approach that required the seed companies to come in, the fertilizer company to come in, the county government, and the community who were greatly affected. And that was it. So when we started, I just wanted to have a farmers' day, which also I didn't know would turn out to be very big. So then we had the farmers expo that time. I wanted farmers to come learn, farmers to come, we hear about their opinions, interact with experts in the field. And I just wanted a small event of 300 farmers. It turned out to have 1,200 farmers, the first ever, with over 50 exhibitors from the space of different agricultural value chains. And the farmers themselves, they came and brought what they do in terms of economic empowerment or agribusiness products or projects that are involved in. And for me, that was quite a start into something that has turned into 5 years this year.
It's 5 years now?
Yes.
This year?
Yes, and it's grown to not just now engaging with farmers at that level. We've gone to the county level. This has attracted even the governance bit of development. And I mean, we are doing well and I'm loving it here.
Wow, briefly. So your first ever event, you targeted to have about 300
farmers. 300, yes.
And 1,200 showed up.
Yes.
So did that make you feel like there could be something bigger than just what it is that perhaps you're seeing at that moment? Maybe that encouraged you to see that this could be something bigger and that could transform lives, not just in our small village, but across maybe in Siaya County and elsewhere across the country.
Of course, I think I always say that community problems sometimes they cut across. When you go to Moranga, the problems the farmers face probably may differ, basically because they are involved in other agricultural value chains, but they are always more or less the same. Because mostly I realized that also the issue of unemployment among the youth in the rural areas, and not knowing the potential they have in terms of knowing the particular niche in agricultural value chain, particularly they needed more of awareness and information together. So then I would say that it made me realize that the communities, they are tired and done with the mere talks, especially that we get from our leaders, where we just say that our people need to be food secure. When I get here, I'll make them food secure. When I get here, we need to make the women to get money through agribusiness. They want actually the practical bit of making this money, and they want the information. They want to be linked to investors, to people who can help them. They want the county government to support them. And so I realized that these forums, you see, it's normally an illusion when people say that when you invite such crowd, then you have to give them money, because that is how our societies have been conditioned, that when you have a gathering, you have to give them an allowance or something like that. These people, they come for these forums and they just want to get the knowledge, the gist of it, to become better, and they're happy. They go home very happy and satisfied, because to some extent information is important. And so that is what I noticed, that our society, our people are angry for better. They're angry for even just forums that are just development oriented.
That's my sister. Agricultural expert. Half the things she says, she talks about, I have no understanding, because that is just not what I do. Yeah. But you do it with so much passion and purpose.
Yeah. Do
you think in line with all these things that you do, somehow you found your purpose, or you're in your way to finding your purpose?
I think interesting enough, because I think I've tried to be in the banking sector a bit, and I've tried other sort of works. So what sometimes when I was actually in the banking, the community would call me and ask me, we want you to come here. We have these issues in terms of even the women. And
okay, let me just break it down. She started doing that when she was, I think, second year, getting involved with the community and agriculture in her own small ways. And then after a while, she left and got another job in the bank that lasted just a few months, less than 5 months. And then while she was there, the people she had interacted with in the community, the farmers, were calling her because the little she had done to that point had left an impact. And so she left the job and she went back to the village.
Yeah, because and it
to
used,
deal with the people.
It used to make me feel like I've been called to serve the people. They want what we do together, because it's not about me. The projects we do for the community, I like them owning them. I always say today, if I'm not, there or gone somewhere even outside the country, I would like them to own those particular forums. I've empowered them enough to do that. I've empowered them to have access to
you have empowered them.
Yes,
Girl.
and they can plan themselves. They know what
Yes.
to do. So then, for me, them calling and telling me, "We need you to come here," it used to really disturb. So I'm like, now, really, this is what I was called to do. Why? I know it's my purpose. I get satisfied and happy when
And she doesn't make much out of it.
I don't make anything.
She does it from the love of
The people.
just serving the people.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And when they come and somebody tells you, thank you so much for impacting your life and how to produce better. When the schools that we, by the way, support to produce maize for the school feeding programs freely, tell us that, as a result, like there's a school that say that as a result of that program, they were not, they did not ask for any money from the parents to support them during the exams, national exams. They used that to feed the students, and also the ECDs in those schools have benefited greatly. For me, that goes towards saying that we are also trying to just make sure that we keep and support the students to be in school, because I understand what it means to lack and still go to school. So for me, those are the success stories. It makes me extremely, extremely happy. And you see, we moved past just now the agriculture, and now I have passion for what women would have, especially the widows and generally women and the economic.
Of which you had an event in December, and specifically was made to address the issues surrounding the widows.
Yeah, I kept telling the widows.
And the Senator of CIA was your guest of honor.
Yes.
I'm rushing this because I know you have a meeting to go to in the next 5 minutes. I don't want to keep you here. I don't want you to be late. But it's important to mention that also culminated in another agricultural expo that you had, that Right Honorable former Prime Minister was the guest of honor.
Yeah.
And we can't get into the details so much, but maybe that is a conversation we will have next time, because I don't want you really to get late for your meeting. I really had to sit her, because we've been meaning to do this, but last week I wasn't feeling very well, and she's always busy. And so today I was like, no, before you leave, let's have some 10 minutes conversation. Okay. All right. So what I can say with all this, and I think you'll come back, we'll have a proper conversation some other time. Your heart is in the right place. Yes.
I'm happy here.
Your heart is in the right place with what you're doing and the service that you're giving. And sometimes you don't do things because we are getting something out of it. That would be nice at the end of the day. But if benefiting is the motivating factor, then you really need to rethink what is it that you're doing with your life. But if your passion leads and your heart is in it, everything else that is supposed to come with that will come.
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm happy that your heart is in the right place. And I don't know, maybe one day she'll decide to practice journalism. The first time she started with what she was doing, I used to see her, she would go to interviews in these television stations as a guest analyst. And the title there will be youth leader, community leader. And I would call her after that, myself and one of our brothers. And I said, what? You are a journalist. Why is the title? And we kept insisting. And after just trying to, because we couldn't understand what she was doing. So before you know it, she's in a magazine being featured, doing some agricultural stuff. And so we did not understand. But at some point we stopped trying to understand, and we decided, you know what?
Left me for God.
We are going to support this. So I remember, I joke with you about it, but my friends would ask me, I've seen your sister and yada, yada, yada. And I said, you know what? She's finding her path in life. But I'm glad you found your path in life.
I did.
And what you're doing at your age and the platforms that you've been able to create that have been very transformational to so many people. That makes me very proud of what you're doing.
Thank you.
And how much you're able to make a change and an impact at your age. Girl, that is amazing. So I'm happy you're here. We shall continue these conversations, but before you go, you're a very young person, very passionate about agriculture. Not so many young people would consider this is something that they would want to do or they would want to be involved in. So how would you encourage young people out there who have huge chunks of land in the village, especially if you come from where we come from? At least there's some land somewhere there that you can do something with. It does not need to be very big, but you're out here struggling, no job and all these things, but yet there's some land somewhere that you could actually do something with and transform your life in whatever small way or big way, depending on what it is that you want to do. How would you encourage young people in line with agriculture being one of the avenues that we could actually address the issue of unemployment?
I'll answer that very briefly in two parts. One is for the youth who want to do production, and two, how to now get your niche into the agribusiness spaces. For the youth whom want to do production, you need to understand, first of all, that the climate needs of the place you're in, research about what can do better, and then you can get into agribusiness or agriculture as it is. We have a mind conditioning, basically because of how agriculture was viewed those back days. So the rural youth, most of the time, they feel that getting to the farm and digging is demeaning, because this is what you used to be told by your parent, that if you're not going to work or do what, you're going to dig. So for us, we viewed agriculture
so it was used as a punishment.
Even in school, that's what the teachers. So the conditioning of the mind is what has made the youth really, even in being adults. It's when I realized it's trauma. They're traumatized.
They were traumatized by agriculture. Because it was used to punish them. So it's not something that people consider as could be something good for them to do.
Yes. So I'll
some
say,
people. Anyway.
Some people. So with enlightenment, you get to also change your mind and conditioning, and understand that, for example, if you've graduated, you're still waiting for your job. You could still, the degree or education makes us teachable and knowledgeable, so we can use that in a way that also allows us to just also make agriculture better, innovative, and have something out of it. Because the green skills that we get from agriculture as it is, even the UN during the International Youth Day last year estimated that it will be the greatest employer and address the youth unemployment that we have in this country. So all we need to do is that we need to find out about how production we can get involved in, and what can do better, and what is your target. But what I can say that agriculture is such an employer of many, and we have success stories within my network of youth who really are making a lot of income, and they didn't study even agriculture. Even myself, I've never gone to study in agriculture, but they are making something out of agriculture. So you can have a number of stream of incomes, one of them being agriculture. Let's not leave our lands not tilled at home. The second part is, if you don't like production, maybe because we have to agree other youths have scarcity of land, agriculture is made in such a way that is very accommodative. You can identify a value chain or a specific agricultural activity. Let's assume we have, for example, poultry farming. You're not good in production because sometimes production is a bit time involving, but do you know that the value chain of poultry, for example, from the production we have up to the marketing, the processing, and the value addition, you can just pick value addition and you supply it. You get the person you supply to, so you pick it from the people who do the production. You get somebody who takes the production. You can go take it to where they can even do value addition. Within what you're doing, you're getting money and you're still involved in agribusiness. So it's about understanding the different value chains, understanding where you can fit in, and understand how money is made there. And of course, with the digital economy and the creative digital space, the youth have to move with speed, and even marketing has become very easy. So it's just now understanding that actually you don't need to even go farm or do what the production, but the value chain offers you, different value chain offers you an opportunity to get involved in agriculture still.
Wow.
Yes.
Look at me learning something new today. All right, I'll let you leave. I'll bring her back. She has a wealth of knowledge that I think majority of young people can really use, that can be very beneficial. Thank you so much for sparing some minutes. I know I said it will be 10 minutes. It's a little bit over 10 minutes almost. I'll edit parts of that, but thank you for your time.
Thank you really for having me.
Thank you for doing what you're doing.
It's a privilege sitting here on the couch with you.
Couch.
You're doing a good job. You know, when you sit down with your mentor, sometimes you say that actually God is good, because it's never easy. So I'm glad. I'm glad you took part in making the person I am.
Thank you for that. For your kind words.
Thank you for grabbing me up for this.
I've never thought about it like that, but now that you say it,
it's important. And actually, as a pastor, I'll say that I meet people every day, and somebody will tell you, oh, Tabitha, I love what you do. Could you please mentor me? Then I get back to myself and I say that, you have to be very specific with what you want to be mentored on. So sometimes we get to want mentors when we are very old in life. I'm sorry. But when you can identify even your sibling at home and they can just nurture the person you are, even as you transit into adulthood and meet the real world. There is something that grounds you in terms of what you know and acceptable, and so you are able even to transit to other things knowing that there was a foundation. So mentorship should begin quite when you're young. I will say it has really helped me and set me apart in so many fields, because I know who I am in terms of confidence. That was something that was put in me when I was home. I could see that, even how I speak and appear in public. And by the way, information I have sometimes, it didn't start today because now I started doing agriculture. It's because I had somebody who loved information, so I will see that every day. So then now it has become a quest for me to want to know better, not want to shallow. So I'm really happy that actually mentorship works, and I'm a true testimony that it does. It's not even just saying it.
All right,
I say it every day.
I'm humbled. Ladies and gentlemen, Tabitha Ogutu. You can check her out on Facebook. She keeps updating us on what she's doing. You can go check on her activities. Soon we'll talk about another event that she's planning that is going to be huge, but not today. That is a conversation for another time. I want to thank you so much for your time. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and give your thoughts. And if at all you want Tabitha to come back, because I think she should. She has so much that we could all benefit from. Otherwise, thank you so much and have yourselves a good day.
Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay.